everyone. This is FYLS Ede with Social Impact Consulting. I am here with the Chief Executive Officer of Connected Development, Hamzat Lawal. Thank you so much for taking time out to talk to us about how you started and how you have been able to run a sustainable nonprofit that is efficient and award-winning. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
You are the forerunner of the movement, Followthemoney, which is a multi-award-winning movement, grassroots movement, which is something I'm very, very passionate about really building leaders from the ground that are able to speak to power on their own. The Followthemoney movement is a UN SDG award-winning movement as recent as 2019. And then you just got an award in Europe. What award was that?
Council of Europe Award.
Council of Europe Award. So well done. So I really wanted you to share your story on how you got from the ground to this point, working with a passionate team and really making waves not just in Nigeria but in Africa as a continent. So tell me, how did you get started?
Well, thank you again for this opportunity to share very boring story.
It's very interesting. That's why I'm talking to you, because you actually sat on a panel in a seminar that I was hosting, which is how to start and run a sustainable NGO. And your story was just so remarkable, so I could not miss the opportunity to talk to you. So let's hear it.
Thank you. So for me, I started out of the passion from not just always complaining, because my generation is big on using technology and using social media to air their grievances and share opinions. And a lot of time when you engage, a lot of people are grieved, and sometimes they're insensitive on how they engage and they always complain. And so for me, it's about how can I drive solutions, how can I mobilize more citizens and actually inform government policies and decision making. So in 2010, Nigeria experienced one of the worst lead poisoning ever in the history of mankind, where over 400 children were reportedly killed due to lead poisoning here in Zamfara State. So at that time it was declared a national emergency. Government raised millions of dollars. You had UNICEF, we had World Health Organization, we even had MSF who responded supporting government to ensure they were able to tackle this menace. But in 2012, I was struggling to understand what has happened for the past 2 years. So I left my comfort zone in the bush and I went to the Ministry of Environment. I went to the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Mines and Solid Minerals. And in those ministries, I was asking officials, so can you give me updates? Just give me a report what has happened for the past 2 years. What did you people do? How many lives did you save? What is the current situation in these communities? And all of them, the first question they ask is, so who do you work for? Who have sent you here? I'm just a citizen of the Federal Republic. I pay my tax and I just I care and I want to know what has happened to public resources. And they just kept tossing me around with no information. So I got on a bus going to this community, and just to put this into perspective, from Abuja to Gusau is 7 hours, under 42 degrees centigrade, really hot. From Anka, that's from Gusau to Anka, it's 4.5 hours, and the road is terrible. So from Anka to Bagega at that time will take you another 4.5 hours, and this time you can't go with a car. So you can either go with a motorbike, a camel, or a donkey.
What?
Yeah.
In this country?
In this country. So, and the trip from Anka to Bagega, there's no mobile network. So no mobile, at that time there was no mobile connectivity. So you're just on your own in the middle of nowhere. So there's no road, it's just a pathway to get into this community. So I traveled, over 18 hours. I saw community members in Bagega. First, I found out that no single cent on the millions of dollars released got to this community.
Okay.
Over 700 children actually died.
What?
So it wasn't very important. And 1,500 children were very sick, below 5 years. And they were at the verge of losing their life except, government to come and intervene. One, the environment is contaminated, so the air is polluted, the water is contaminated, and there was no medical supply.
What caused this?
Artisanal mining. Government called it illegal mining, but I called it unregulated artisanal mining. So they were mining gold, and embedded in those raw material was lead, and they were also using lead to extract the gold. So that's like double lead, contaminating the environment, bringing it to their household. So what I did then, and I always say that my generation, is blessed with technology. I traveled with my mobile phone, and all I was doing was documenting voices, taking pictures, of course with their permission, doing short video interviews in local language, and asking them simple questions like, what is your call to action to government? How does this make you feel that you have a child who will die and you can do anything? And just simple questions. And I came back to Abuja, and what I did was to call my friends together, because again, when you're starting a campaign, you already know people who are close to you, their strengths and their weaknesses. So I called my friends, and they followed my journey, because I always post on Facebook. So I give update on Facebook. So I called them, I said, I have this content, I have this resource, and we need to help amplify these voices. We need to help tell the stories and bring government attention to it. So the four of us started a campaign, and we agreed that the hashtag was going to be called Save Bagega, because the name of the community is Bagega, but it needed to be saved. And our campaign message was targeted at the 1,500 children. Let's save this life. So we went on Twitter with this hashtag. When we were doing the campaign, Human Rights Watch reached out to us and said, we followed your campaign, calling citizens to sign a petition. We want to help amplify this campaign on Facebook and on all our platforms. So, and they did. We issued a joint statement, and they amplified, our campaign messages. In less than 48 hours, the then president approved the sum of $5.3 million, which is over 850 million naira for this community specifically. One, the money was meant for environmental remediation, that's cleanup, healthcare provision, and then safer mining practices to teach miners how to mine safely so they don't contaminate the environment. And then I got to understand the difference between approval, release, and utilization. Because as much as we were excited, we were also conscious that a few years back, government actually released resources. So we didn't get carried away with the announcement. So we started putting pressure on the Ministry of Finance to disburse this funds. And then when they disbursed, we started tracking, from Abuja to Busau to Anka to Bagega. And when I say track, a lot of people think, do you have access to government account? Government will never give you access to the account. What we did was to lay our hands on the work plan. So there's a cost for every project, government project, there's always a costed work plan. So we laid our hand on the document and we made it public. It was a bulk document, but what we did was to get our friends to simplify it into infographics and visualization, so that communities would and citizens would understand where this money is going to and what this money is meant to do in these communities. So if in some places they're meant to hire 10 tractors. So for us in tracking, we check how many tractors is physically on ground. They're meant to get 200 laborers. We count how many laborers are engaged. So that's how we tracked, and then the environment was cleaned up. Over 1,500 children got free medical intervention from MSF who were on ground, and Ministry of Mines and Solid Minerals trained the miners and supplied a few mining equipment, even if we were not entirely happy with how they took the procurement of that project.
Wow, that is amazing. So once you started this campaign, how did it then? Because the way I look at organizers for me, they build organizations. So through this campaign, you were able to build something. So how did the organization Connected Development emerge from this campaign?
So when we were doing our campaign, and it's quite interesting. We started with the hashtag Save Bagega, but then married it to our platform called Followthemoney.
I see.
And then at that time, Followthemoney was just an idea, was just a campaign, running Save Bagega specific, just one campaign, Followthemoney. But then after our campaign, and interestingly, we didn't think about, we never thought about starting an organization or an institution, like I call it, because I see NGOs as institutions, not organizations. So we got an email. Interestingly, we got an email from a UK-based grant making organization saying, we followed your campaign on Twitter, we're visiting Nigeria and we want to meet. So I responded to the email and said, yeah, we're happy to meet. And they said they were coming to Lagos. And we said, oh, we're based in Abuja, but we traveled a lot to Zamfara. We're based in Abuja, but we're happy to travel to Lagos and meet with you because we're excited to meet with partners. And I said, no, we'll come to Abuja. So they came to Abuja. We had an over 2 hours meeting. And at that time, we were looking at how can they support our work to scale. And then in our mind, we're like, you wouldn't give us support. We're doing this out of passion, we were just excited doing passion and making impact and driving change. And now you're saying, oh wow. So they said, so when they went back, they asked for a proposal. And honestly, at that time, we've never written a proposal before, let alone even have a budget. So they asked for a proposal and a budget to be sent forward, for grants. And then we started doing research on government. And we came up with I remember 13 or 14 page proposal. And then they replied and said, can you summarize in 3 pages? Wow, this gave me sleepless nights. How would I? So we gave them a 4-page. And after a few weeks, they gave us over £9,000. And mind you, at that time, we were not registered. We're not an organization. We're not registered. We're just Follow the Money as a campaign. And at that time, it was just me, the founder, and my co-founder, and so when they gave us this award, to even access the money became a challenge. One, you need an account. At that time, I only had a savings account, just one account, but doing the same thing, And they said, oh yeah, how would we get this money to you? And so that's when the entrepreneurship part came into play. So at that time, I started speaking to friends that own business. Please, can we use your business account? Can we sign an MOU? You help us receive this form, change it to Naira, and give it to us to run our project. So the money was meant to help us for 1 year. 1, get an office space. 2, pay for internet. And 3, travel to communities. At that time, there was no salary or stipend. It's just for us to do our work. So we got a company who helped us access this money. We provided documentation to the donors and said, if you've signed an MOU, you can trust these people because they've committed with a legal document that they were going to receive it and convert it and give it to us. The Naira is 2.5 million Naira. So we got a space, we furnished the space. We got about 5 volunteers to join us for a start, and we made it very open because when you're driving transparency and accountability, you must also be transparent and accountable. So we told the volunteers, this grant, and the news was carried by the Premium Times. So we're even trending on Twitter when they gave us there. A lot of people like, oh wow. So yeah, we told the volunteers, and this, at that time, we now knew, 1, we need an account. But for you to get an account as either Follow the Money, you need to be registered. Yes. So we approached CAC with our lawyers and said, register us as Follow the Money. They declined and said, no, we can't register as Follow the Money. And that's another story on its own. So we sent in a lot of names. I remember we sent in Open Development Watch. They declined. So it was really frustrating for me. So all the names, so I and Dr. now started brainstorming and we came up with the name Connected Development. Interestingly, they declined. Really? They declined. So at that time we now felt, I think government didn't want this group to actually exist. Yes. Because when we started, acceptability was 0. Government didn't really like us. Then accountability and transparency in government was really low. When you look at transparency international index, we're not doing well. So we told our lawyers to write CAC and say we're going to sue them. Because it's our right to actually register an organization. So they finally accepted Connected Development. So Connected Development became the name of our organization, while Follow the Money became a campaign, which is now an African movement because we have Follow the Money in 7 African countries. Really? Running successfully in the Gambia, in Cameroon, in Malawi, in Zimbabwe, in Liberia. Last year I was in Canada. My colleagues even went to Europe and US, and there's growing interest. And even in Europe, we won an award. Nigeria is not a member state of Council of Europe. We won an award. Council of Europe is made of European Union countries, over 40 of them. We won an award in Europe. So that's how we grew. And interestingly, we started getting interest from other donors, Open Society, Initiative for West Africa, Lumini, and over 90% of our donors actually reached out to us. So we follow your work, we like what you're doing on democracy, strengthening institution and mobilizing and community organizing, because all our campaigns are the grassroots.
It's a grassroots, yeah.
You know, hundreds of kilometers where there's no mobile network, where you have to go on the bus, then you go on canoe, then you go on motorbike. You know, and most times sleep in this community get bitten by mosquitoes. You know, because what we've learned in community organizing is for you to get data, for you to get citizen-led information, you must connect with them.
You have to.
You must bond with them, and they must trust you to open
Exactly.
up. So yes, that's where we get to sleep in this community in their house. So they see us as members of the community. You know, they take us as part of them, and then they open up, and we use those information to inform government policies and decisions around how you practice their lives, so they can take ownership and they know.
It's like you're representing them, and that's the sometimes. I'm very intrigued by organizations like yours because coming from the US, we knew how we reached out to the grassroots communities and actually represented them in Capitol Hill. But when I came to Nigeria, it was like there were lots of seminars and conferences and hotels.
Disconnection.
It was the
reality,
disconnection between the grassroots and the decision makers. So it's amazing the kind of work that you do. One thing I want to just get from you, how were you able to, you talked about NGOs being institutions, not really organizations. So how were you able to build this movement into your institution, into the institution right now that it's been functioning in 7 African countries and getting all these awards? How were you able to build that?
Honestly, it was challenging. It wasn't easy because as much as I'm talking about all the successes, you know, it wasn't easy building it for the past 7 years because I was not wired. So I remember at first when we were registered. So now we have an NGO. You must have a chief executive. And then I remember on that day I asked my co-founder, "Do you want to be the CEO?" I looked at him, no. It's like, so what do we do? We can't hire a CEO because we don't have money. Because you have to pay salary. And then I was like, what do we do? And he was looking at me, what do we do? What would you do? So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll be the CEO. I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. So that's how I became the CEO. So I never planned, because I'm an activist, I'm a campaigner. I like campaigning and doing activism and traveling. Now I have to step into that shoes because if I don't, who will? So I became the CEO, and in doing that, you know, we started setting structures in place. First, we needed policy, guidelines, and what informs policy, organizational policies and guidelines is a culture. So, and our culture is one, we're young people, we're very informal, we're driven by passion, we're driven by, you know, some very strict principles. Then we started using this culture and principles to draft our policies, and we also looked at what are other people in the sector, what are they doing, you know, and getting this document and using it as best practices, and you know, taking a few from here and there, and we came up with our own policy. When we wanted to set up our board, we looked at who have we worked with in the past, who have actually reached out to us to even support or encourage us, and that's how we reached out to a couple of people we knew from way back, and they accepted to be on the board. You know, so and in building this institution over the years, one, it's about managing people. The biggest challenge for me is actually managing talent, and people are talented. I say my biggest resource is not money. My biggest resource is people. And that's why we're big on community organizing and empowering grassroots communities, because if you give people the right set of knowledge, the right set of tool, because we can't be everywhere in Nigeria, we can't be everywhere in Africa, but if we have the right set of people. So in using our principles, our culture, we started reaching out to young people in other African countries. So I've traveled to over 40 African countries. So when I travel, one thing I always do is recruit people like me. Because people who find you interesting will want to engage you and talk to you. So for me, the sustainability is telling them that they can actually take this movement and be part of this movement and drive this movement as part of their contribution to their own immediate community. And that's how we started with the Gambia. We met Ma. Ma is this young guy who was really passionate about his country. Gambia have been led by, a dictator for over 20 years, and Ma wanted change. The young people in Gambia wanted change, but they didn't know how to go about that change. So I was supported by the US State Department. And we convened this meeting in Ghana, brought young activists and campaigners, and then brought me as an international trainer to transfer the knowledge, the tools, and the process of how to run an effective campaign without putting yourself in harm's way. Then what he did was just going back to the Gambia, going on radio, using social media. He just had two messages. One, as young people, go out and get registered. On election day, come out and vote peacefully. And that was how change came to the Gambia and brought in President Adam Barrow. So this is how we try to recruit young people. But now Ma has started his own organization. So what we do in all these African countries is we recruit individuals, build their capacity, invest in their capacity. They now in turn start an organization like how we transited, and then recruit the right set of people. And in doing that, they attract resources, because if you do the work, money will find you.
Exactly.
Money would find you. Yeah. So that's how we've been able to. So in all these countries, we have other NGOs or individuals running campaigns and then mobilizing more citizens, because we're now the largest social accountability movement with over 6,000 volunteers on our platform called Followthemoney.org. So leveraging in technology, because at first we started with a WhatsApp group. Adding all these guys on WhatsApp. But WhatsApp has its limitations. So what we've now done is, we have a platform called Followthemoney.org, and we want citizens to also engage with government. And if you look at the SDGs, they say leave no one behind. If you look at Goal 17, it talks about partnership for the good. Goal 16 talks about stronger institutions, peace and justice. So we're saying, how can citizens and their leaders who they've elected to represent them engage? So today on Followthemoney, we have governors on the platform. We have heads of government MDAs. So the idea is citizens send feedback and get immediate response. So the government can then plan and budget, release these resources, and citizens can follow. Because once we do that, government is coming closer to the community, filling their pause, using data provided by Followthemoney, and then citizens take ownership. When you reduce that conflict, you build more trust, and then there's community ownership and participation in it. So that's how we've been able to sustain our movement. And for us, we're looking at long term. And if you follow the civic space, it's shrinking. It's shrinking. There's no more money. There's now clamped down by government, activists, and civil society. So we're thinking about more focus on individuals, because real change actually happens by people. It's people that drive those change. It's people that you are coming to this or elect to this institution, and those people come with values. And if their values are very strong, that buttress accountability and transparency, then they can talk to other people who put more champion and have stronger institutions.
That is amazing. The fact that you are able to not just use financial capital, but you also use human capital, not just with your team, but with also volunteers. That is one thing, and most people say that, the volunteer culture in Nigeria is dead, people don't like to volunteer, but I don't seem to agree with that, because even what I'm doing now with the seminars and building the capacities of non-profit, people call me, how can I volunteer with you? I want to work with you. So the volunteer culture is there, if, like you said, the passions, come together. So you did kind of segue into sustainability. Why don't you talk more about that in terms of how you're looking at connected development and Followthemoney moving forward to the future, and how you plan the organization plans to stay sustainable, because most founders want their organizations to uplift them. So what are your plans for that process?
So for me, I always say life itself is transient, and I'm actually transiting. So I started only me over 7 years ago. I recruited a co-founder, with 5 volunteers, now with over 35 staff, with over 6,000 volunteers, and running so many projects, managing grants with grants of over $1 million, annually. So, and I want to go and do other things. I don't want to be a CEO for life. No, I want to go be a lecturer and transfer all this knowledge and build the capacity and travel around the world, and also spend time with family. So for us, we won the One Africa Award in 2017, and this award comes with $100,000. And what we did with this money was to invest. So NGOs are allowed to actually invest. to generate income with a social investment, but then invest this income back into the non-for-profit. So what we did was to invest in a space called Community Park. One of our biggest challenges when we started was having a space. And up till tomorrow, one of the biggest problems for startups is when you have this big idea, where's that community where you can go and get advice, you can go and get mentorship, or you can even have that environment where you can walk with your laptop, connect to internet and have coffee or tea, or where you can even meet like-minded people and say, this is what I'm working on, what do you think? Get feedback. So Community Park for us is a community of ideas, of innovators, of passionate campaigners and activists, and also social entrepreneurs, where one, they see here as a safe. So we created a safe space where you can even have conversations that even society don't want you to have around gender-based violence, around sexual and reproductive health. So we created Community Park and we put a small premium. Come and use our space for a day for 3,000 naira, which is less than $10. Come and use our space for an event where you can convey 100 people. And then what we also did was, in this space, every quarter we bring, people that have made a mark in the society. So we called it a mentorship program. The first person we brought, Malam Nuhu Ibadi, who is the pioneer chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. We're talking to Madam Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Madam Obi Ezekwesili. Come and talk to 100 young people. Come and share your personal story. Because out there, they have success stories, but we want to know how you struggle. Share those stories of when you were down. What did you do? How did you overcome, your demons? So that's how we took some of the one award money to invest in this space. And the idea was, now Community Park is independent, even from Cool and me. I founded Community Park, but right now I'm not on the board of Community Park. Because Community Park is a social enterprise where we sold shares and got investors and got shareholders. So they have a management team, they have a separate board from boards, and they're driven by, let's generate income, pay staff of Community Park, and then give an endowment to development. So that's the plan. So here we're being hosted. So this was our investment, but today we're hosted by Community Park. So we pay our rent to Community Park. Community Park, have different clients. They run workshops, they run, events. They have series of events. They co-incubate other smaller startups with NGO, social enterprises. They have different clients, both virtually and physically. So, and when they make their income at the end of the year, they look at their profits, and then they donate to Connected Development to run projects, because we want a situation whereby, and this is my legacy. When I'm gone, because it's natural that we will die someday. We want what we've started to outlive us, and so people can be inspired with the story. So this is Connected Development Followthemoney is my legacy. So that's why we've now done that impact investment, and now we're just hoping to eat from the fruit of our labor, And we're also looking at other investment as an organization, because now you have even the donor community thinking differently. For instance, the MacArthur Foundation is saying, your indirect cost they've approved the increase to 25%. We have Luminate. Luminate gives impact investment, and they allow you to use your money the way you deem fit to drive impact at the ground. So you can use money for investment, that drives, a better society, but also brings positive returns that you can put back into your hypothesis.
It's fascinating. In fact, that is an innovative way of being sustainable. You can even apply, as an organization, apply for rewards, and then that money can be used for sustainability. That's remarkable. So, just as we're rounding up, can you just give any key advice for any young startup NGO that's excited, a young whippersnapper wants to come in and make change in the world? What is your advice for them?
It's exciting to have this brilliant idea. You want to hit the ground running. So for me is one, facing realities. As a founder, as an entrepreneur, it's honestly not easy out there. So, for instance, in 2019, a lot of people out there thought it was a big success for me and my organization. But honestly, in my growing career, 2019 was hard. It was hard. Why? Because I was depressed. For the first time in my life, I came face to face with depression. Even if no one knew, because no one knew I was going through that phase. Because as a founder and as a leader, you're leading a lot of people, so we get motivation from you. But who do you get motivation from? So, but for me, I learned a life of things. One is the fact that as a founder or as an entrepreneur, just keep breathing. Breathe. And as you breathe, smile. One reason why no one even here is depressed, not even my colleagues in the hospital at all, because I always smile. So, but behind that smile, I was hiding that depression, and I was going through that phase. And lastly, keep moving. So no matter what you're experiencing today, it's just a phase, and it's time. But it's also time for you to learn and to reflect. So 2019 taught me those 3 lessons. Breathe, smile, and keep moving. Everything is just a phase, and it's time. So give it time. Because if you stop breathing, then you won't enjoy that moment and you learn that lesson. If you don't smile, for you to impact people, you must carry one face. And you must be approachable and accepted. So for me, those 3 lessons kept me going. And today I always say depression is part of life. So if it happens tomorrow to me, I just know it's part of life. It's a phase that will come to pass. So but as a founder, no one prepares you for anything. But the biggest strength is your community. And I guess that's where I got my strength from, and that's where I always go and connect and get energized and recharged.
Thank you so much. That was just a really good interview, and thank you for opening yourself up to the community of young startups that are getting ready to get on this journey. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. I tweeted and I said, allow yourself to be vulnerable. It's fine, it's okay. Because we founders are, we're always like, everything is fine. No, everything is not fine, and it's okay to tell people everything is not fine. So yeah, allow yourself to be vulnerable. It's okay. You learn when you do that.
You really do. Thank you so much. We just interviewed Hamzat Lawal, CEO, Connected Development. Please, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.